So I'm going to show you how to place an NG tube. So please note, I am trained on how to do this, so please do not attempt this unless you are trained by a medical professional. So even though I know where like the number, because if you look at the tube there are these little numbers on the side of it, and basically what you want to do is measure the length of the tube if you do not know. So what you do is you put it at the tip of the nose, put it to the ear, and then put it down to where your stomach would be, so kind of between your breastbone and your belly button. And then what you do is you just lift the tube up and note the number. So for me that number is 61. So what I do next is I take the NG tube. Now some people do use lube on these to make it a little bit easier to pass down, and some people do take a drink with it because it makes it easier to swallow the tube, but I'm pretty used to it so I can do it without it. So what you want to do is you want to put the tube into the nose just like that, and the way you do it is you put it back the way. You don't put it up the way, you put it back the way, and when you put it back the way it will hit a flap, the gag reflex, and when it hits that you need to swallow the tube. So just like that. And you just want to keep putting it in and swallowing until it reaches that number, which it has. It's reached 61. Next thing you want to do is take some pH strips and a smallish syringe. This is a 20ml syringe. And the reason you have to do this is you have to check the tube is in the stomach. This can also be confirmed by x-ray placement, but at home obviously that's not ideal. So the way I have been taught to do it at home is with pH strips, and basically the strips look like this, and on the side of the bottle there is a chart which correlates with the 3 squares, and when you put aspirate on it, aspirate is just a bit of the stomach contents, it will change colour, and you will look at this chart and figure out which colour on the squares matches the chart. And the rule in my community is it has to be between 2 and 5.5 to be safe to feed, because otherwise the tube may be too far up, too far down, or in the lung, which is never good. So the next thing you do is just take a syringe and just like that. So you pull back to get aspirate. So I managed to get some aspirate. So what I do is just hook that around my ear, and what I'm gonna do is just put the aspirate. I can already tell by the colour of it that it is in the stomach, but it's always good to check. So I'm just putting the aspirate on that, and this is what it looks like colour wise. So let me just, so I would say it matches, oh no, with that one. That one is 4.5. So the tube is in the correct place. It is in the stomach. So the next thing I do is just take some water. I'll just pour it into the mortar and pestle, and I'll just take a syringe. So pick up the water and then screw it on. Now, for anybody wondering, the following is not painful and it just feels very cold going down. The way I describe it is it feels like you're taking a drink without actually drinking. So yes, that's how you place an NG tube, and I need to put some plaster on my face to make sure it doesn't come off. But yes, that's how you place an NG tube.